Hey everyone, welcome to the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Mast, and I've got with me today a good friend of mine and a brilliant EOS implementer, Lynn Askin. Lynn, I want you to take just a moment, tell everybody about yourself and what you do. And for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about EOS and why this is such an amazing system for business.
Thanks, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here with you. Obviously, my name is Lynn Askin. I'm a professional EOS implementer, but I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I have a whole story to tell around that, but I implement something called the entrepreneurial operating system. It started essentially was created by Gino Wickman. It's really outlined well in this book called Traction, and it's a framework for getting more of what you want from your business.
Awesome. Well, it's super exciting. So, what does that mean to the audience that may not be familiar with? What does it mean to be an implementer? How do you help businesses implement EOS, and what does that mean to them? I mean, some of us have read the book, some may not. Why is that important for a business to be taking a look at, and how do you help them achieve that, Lynn?
Well, the entrepreneurial operating system is it's I like to say that it's simple, but it's not easy necessarily. So it's a series of tools. There's 25 or 30 tools in the EOS toolbox, and they're all designed to help you become stronger in your business. And so you can do that in your own company, but I think there's a lot of power in having that outside third party voice who's a professional who knows the system inside and out and can guide you through the implementation of putting this in place in your business.
Well, having been involved with a company that implemented EOS, I can absolutely attest to the value of having a third party come in, and what that really brings to the table. Because there's so much that again, if it almost reminds me, Lynn, of the forest for the trees analogy. You know, when you're in the middle of things, it's sometimes hard to really see and analyze things effectively. And when you bring in an outside expert, especially someone like yourself who's trained at this and knows the system and has worked with lots of other clients, you know that process, you know how to walk a company through that and make sure that they're getting the maximum amount of value out of the system. Talk to us a little bit about some of the not necessarily the specific clients, but what type of clients do you tend to work with that get the most value out of an EOS implementation?
Thanks. Most of my clients right now are digital marketing agencies. Now, that's not to say that this is only for digital marketing agencies, because it's not. It is a great fit for almost any business from 10 to 250 employees who are looking to get a better grip on their business, who are looking to put systems and a framework in place so that you're running your business and not the other way around. And so I've worked with a lot of digital marketing agencies. I also have clients in a couple other industries.
Well, I certainly know you've got an extensive background in digital marketing, so it makes sense. You certainly understand those clients super well and understand what that is. I know one of the things that, I first learned when I started learning about EOS was just the level 10 meeting and the importance of being able to systematize a lot of what's happening within your business so that things actually happen. And if you would, in a moment here, I'm going to ask you about that level 10 meeting, because we've all sat through meetings that weren't productive, when either people didn't dare say things or deal with that. And while EOS is a lot more than just a level of 10 meeting, could you dive in for a little bit just on that and talk to us about how that systemization helps those businesses actually get more done?
Yeah, one of the foundational tools of EOS is the meeting pulse, and part of that meeting pulse is the level 10 meeting. We've all been in those meetings where we get together and everybody loves to discuss and want to tell stories and get sidetracked, and generally just beat the subject over and over and over, beat it to death, discuss the heck out of it. And what we do in EOS is we've taken those meetings, those terrible meetings that everybody hates. And, when we ask everybody in the initial setup of EOS, we say, hey, how would you currently rate your meetings on a scale of 1 to 10? And the scores we get are typically in the 3, 4, 5 range. Level 10 meetings are supposed to be 10s. And so we've given you a tool and a framework for great meetings. That's very specific. It runs a very specific agenda. It starts on time, ends on time. It's the same day every week at the same time. And so the meetings become the most important part of your week, because we have a great agenda for you to get more stuff done and more of the right stuff done in your business every single week.
Well, and having sat through some of those meetings, even some that you've run, I want to say there's a huge value into a productive meeting that works well, that flows well, and that gets stuff done. Again, we've all sat through meetings that aren't like that. And I know it's one of my favorite parts of the entrepreneurial operating system. Lynn, talk to us a little bit. If we've got businesses out there, maybe they've read Gino's book, maybe they've heard about this but haven't implemented, or maybe even they've tried and they failed to implement it on their own. What types of steps should they be taking to learn from you, and maybe reach out to you and find out what the next steps are in effectively implementing EOS within their business?
Well, I certainly think once again, EOS, you can self-implement EOS. It's possible. There's people who do it, but like I said, it is simple, but it's not necessarily easy. And one of the best benefits of hiring someone like me, a professional EOS implementer, is again, you get that third party voice that's there for you, and you're not actually the one that has to learn the entire system. So you actually get to work on your business that day and not working in it, trying to figure out this system and drive your team forward. It's almost like that. One of those commercials on TV these days is something about TV dad, and there's a kid talking to his regular dad, and dad gives him advice, and he kind of rolls his eyes, and then TV dad gives him the same advice, and he's like, "Hey, that's a great idea." That's kind of like us. We're the outside voice that brings structure and discipline into your team. And so, obviously, EOS, it is a process. So, one of the first things we do would just jump on a quick call, maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, kind of understand your needs, talk to you about EOS, see if it's a little bit of a good fit. And if that is a good fit, we move forward with what's called our 90-minute meeting. And in that 90-minute meeting, we obviously have a very specific agenda where we teach you a little bit about EOS and a little bit about us and kind of the founding of EOS and where it came from. And then we learn a little bit, flip the table, learn a little bit about you, kind of understand where you've been, where you are right now, where you're going. And then, of course, we're going to teach you and kind of open up the fire hose of EOS and hit you with all of the EOS tools and just show you exactly how you can put this system in place in your business. And then after that, we show you actually the process, what it's like to work with an implementer and how we would implement this. And so you see exactly what it's like to work with us from the very beginning all the way through to we're just running your quarterlies and annuals.
I love it. So no surprises along the way, no, used car salesman pitches. It's literally in a discovery process, it sounds like, then, Lynn, to determine, is EOS a good fit? What does that look like? What could it mean to your business? And then obviously some logical next steps on what that business can take if they choose that it is something they want to be taking a look at. Am I hearing that correctly? Am I understanding that correctly then, Lynn?
We absolutely have a proven process for EOS. And so when we get on that call, that a little bit of that discovery call is to understand if this is a good fit, not only for you, but for me too. We want to make sure that one, this is something that you would benefit from. Two, if this is the right time to implement it, this in your business. And then three, am I personally the right fit for you as an implementer? And if I'm not, and if we don't think that's true, I have other implementers that I can certainly introduce you to, that I can give a referral to, and I can get you to the right person.
That's just so interesting. As we hear about that, Lynn, if our listeners are watching, and that, what type of businesses could you say would not be a good fit? Maybe they're wondering and they're okay. Am I a good fit? And are there a couple questions that a business owner can ask themselves right up front to determine maybe are they at the right point to consider it? Things like that. And I don't know, is that something that's possible?
Yeah, the right kind of client for us is really, teams of 10 to 250 employees. But not only that, they have to be open minded. They have to be willing to be open and honest and vulnerable with not only themselves, with other people around them on their team. And our goal here really is to build a solid leadership team around you. And so if you're satisfied with the status quo and you're not really ready to change or actual have growth in your business, then maybe you're not a good fit for EOS.
Hmm. But yet, if I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner, and I really want to build that leadership team, because I know a lot of business owners that you and I both know are in that position where they're trying to build a business that someday they can step away from, at least partially or completely, maybe sell or whatever. Does EOS help in that process of making a transition, even if that transition maybe years down the road? Is EOS a good system to help with that?
The entire system is designed to help you get more of what you want from your business. And if what you want from your business is to to step out of the day to day and possibly have an acquisition down the road, then EOS is definitely a great fit. Um, you know, this is designed to build a really solid leadership team around you, the visionary of your company, and to make your your life a little bit easier and make your business a lot more fun to run.
Oh, I love it. I love the book. I love the process. You've taught me so much about this over the last year or so. It's been absolutely amazing. Lynn, if somebody wants to reach out and connect with you, and maybe this has piqued their interest and said, okay, it's time. We need to learn more. We need to try to figure out if this is a good fit for us. What's the next step they should take to connect with you?
There's a lot of great ways to connect with me, Jonathan. You certainly can find me on all the social medias. I have a pretty unique name, so I'm pretty easy to find. You could find, message me, friend me on Facebook, send me a message there. You can find me over on LinkedIn. You could go to the eosworldwide.com/Lynn-Askin, and you can find my page over there. I'm really easy to find. Just send me a message, and we'll connect.
That's awesome. I so appreciate that. Well, Lynn, I want to thank you for joining us today and sharing a bit more about EOS and what you do as a professional implementer. That's so cool to hear. And if you're listening to us today and either alive or on the replay, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. What's going on here? This is the 91-day business spotlight live, as we call it. And we do this to promote amazing businesses, just like Lynn and what he's doing and the things that are happening. Some businesses are small, like Lynn, some are huge. It doesn't matter. We would love to interview you and get you on for 10 to 15 minutes to chat, just like Lynn and I have done here. If you're interested, comment down below. We are only doing 130 of these. I know that sounds like a lot over the next 91 days. I've already got 27 of them booked, and we just started yesterday. So if you're interested, join us. Lynn, let me ask you, was this hard or was this relatively straightforward and easy?
This is super easy, Jonathan. I really appreciate you inviting me on and allowing us to spread the message of EOS. It's had such a positive impact on my business and on my life that I want to just share it with others.
Well, I love that abundance mentality. And it's one of the things we love about you. Lynn, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us here on this live stream, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with 2 or 3 more.